Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. And tonight I've got a very special tarot card reading, and we're just going to use the initials GR for this. This reading actually has to do with maybe a potential medical procedure, but also just health in general and trying to find some clarity or get some insight in terms of uh, what's really going on, So let's look at that. So we'll go ahead and shuffle the cards a little bit here just to kind of get them mixed up, kind of focus in on the energy. Hope everyone is having a good week. It's Monday. We are now 9 days into October, and I'm telling you, I just don't know where the time is going. It just seems like it's just been a very, very busy year. I say that, and I'm actually getting a text message on the phone right now. So just never a break in service or anything, which is fine. I like to stay busy. I was telling someone that yesterday. They were saying, geez, you never get a break, do you? I was like, no, never. And that's okay, though. I really enjoy it. I enjoy serving. So the been doing a lot of in-person tarot card readings lately. In fact, we have it's like a metaphysical fair that's coming to Michigan. I think on the 14th and 15th. I think I'm scheduled to be there also. Do some tarot card readings and everything. We do book distribution, and there's just a lot of different things that we do as well. A lot of yogis are there, people that are interested in yoga, holistic health, people that are interested in New Age and metaphysical, Wicca, all these types of disciplines and practices, and that people tend to go and whatnot. It's interesting. And you get just a really wide caliber of people, actually, like a wide type of audience, people that, just you might not even expect would attend these events, show up and whatnot. So you get spiritual groups, you get, let's see, we've had political groups, we've had people that were interested in like Comic-Con and doing like comics and different things show up, and just a lot of people that are interested in yoga and Ayurveda and holistic health and different things. They set up booths there as well, and you get just a wide variety of people that come. So it's a lot of fun to go and do those shows and everything. You meet a lot of very fascinating, interesting people. Okay, so kind of focusing in on this. So I've just kind of really shuffled the spots off of this now. I'm going to go ahead and kind of really do another shuffle. And at this point, I'm just going to really hone in on the querent. In this case, it's this person whose initials are GR. And we're going to look at the health and well-being of this person to see, kind of what the cards have to say about everything. It seems like there has been some, where things have been maybe benign in the past. Not really sure. Like, we're not getting a true accurate reading per se on things necessarily. And see. Just kind of focusing on things. All right, now we're going to start the reading here. So the first card that I have is kind of our recent past. Okay, recent past means that just in the last few months. In this card, we have this Ace of Swords. Now, for those of you that have watched the channel for quite some time, you might even be learning quite a bit about tarot, just because I tend to go into detail about what the cards mean and give some insights on different things, and just kind of share my own experiences in doing tarot and what have you. But the Ace of Swords, now aces tend to be like they're the front of the suit. So if you have cards 1 through 10, and then you have the Um, you'll have the pages, the knights, the queens, and then the kings. The ace is really the first of that particular suit. And this is outside of the major arcana cards, which are like your overarching life cards. But these cards here, they usually relate to things like in a particular context. Ace of Swords. Swords are about thoughts, like kind of being in our head about things, like wondering what's going on. And aces are usually about new. It's like the beginning of something new, or kind of getting an idea, or trying to figure things out, or trying to wrap our mind around something, maybe for like the first time. And so that's what this Ace of Swords is really telling us. So to put that into context with this particular reading, we can look at it and say, it genuinely has a little bit of concern. It's like where our mind is kind of taking us into the situation itself. It's almost like kind of an analogy, or maybe like a way of looking at this is, let's see. Oh, so recently, the car that I drive, you got to remember I use it quite a bit because I travel a lot, go to different university campuses. I do a lot of service at other organizations and different things as well. We do kirtan groups. I mean, we're traveling a lot sometimes. And so the vehicle that I use is important, to maintain it and to keep it up in good health and everything. So, but recently I noticed a noise. Okay. And that noise that I heard, I'd put it in reverse and I'd back up, and it was kind of like, I can't even articulate what the noise was. Or, maybe I'm driving and, I'm getting closer to my destination. And so I'm slowing down to park or something. And then I notice that kind of a noise happens. And, that noise is sort of foreign to me. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. I haven't had this kind of an experience before. So as a result, it's sort of like, I know there's something that's not exactly right? But I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm not sure the seriousness of it. And so that's kind of like what this Ace of Swords is, sort of that, if I can kind of represent that in the best way, it's kind of like where that there's something just not quite right. Can't really put your finger on it per se. You don't know exactly what it is. You don't have enough information yet. And so you're a little bit concerned about it. I know for me personally, if you're driving something and the engine doesn't sound right, or if the fan belt or something, our belt sounds like it might be slipping or something, that could be cause for concern. And so obviously you'd want to get that checked out, get it in the shop. And of course, finances and different things can kind of dictate, what your options are and what your decision making will be. Or just if you have a really busy schedule, like I have a busy schedule, as I'm sure most of you do, then trying to find the time to make time to take care of the situation can also be an issue, but until you make the time, or until you get the information, you don't know. And so that kind of being in the dark about things can be kind of concerning, it's a little bit upsetting. Okay. So the next card that we have is our in the moment. This is our present moment card. This is interesting. So this deviates a little bit from the swords. In this particular case, this is I always think of this as doing certain things in a certain way to get a certain result, is the way I always kind of look at this card. And this person, they've become an expert. They're really good at crafting these pinnacles. And they're a craftsman. They've honed their art. They've refined it. They've learned the best way to go about doing it through trial and error and through just having a lot of experience. So this is about experience. It's about, becoming an expert, kind of, finding the easiest solution to a problem and then being able to act on it and put it into practice. It's almost like the assembly line, where everybody has a certain job that they do, and that's all they do is that one particular activity. And, as one part comes down the line, then it's your job to do what you need to do to it. And then you pass it on. And that's kind of the situation with this. This is a craftsman, obviously, a little bit different situation, but they They don't do anything else. They just make the pinnacles here. And because of that, they've made so many pinnacles, as you can see here, just in what's hanging, there's 8 of them here. It's saying a lot. Now, pinnacles themselves, I'll tell you this, they're kind of about stability. It's about stability. It's about money. It's about, doing things, pretty consistently and well, and trying to keep ourselves focused on things. That's this 8 energies, Capricornian kind of energy. But it's also kind of a double whammy here because we have the 8, because there's 8 of these. 8 in numerology is also that same kind of energy. So when we see the 8 and we see that it's pentacles, it's like, wow, it's magnified. So we have that kind of that stability and things kind of just keeping on, trying to stay stable, trying to manage things nicely. We're good at what we're doing, so we don't really like jump ship or go anywhere else. We just continue in the same pursuit of what we've been doing. And so that's kind of where GR is at right now. It's sort of this, keeping things kind of, moving, in the same direction, not really uprooting anything, not really rocking the boat, but just kind of keeping things exactly as they are, and continuing to refine things and to get more information and to learn new things. The next card that we have, this is interesting. So this one here, you'll notice this is the, what is this, the 9? I believe so. And you see her. She's a lady. There's the pentacles behind her. There's a bird. Her life's pretty easy going. I mean, you can look at this card and you can see that's sort of easy going. She's got the resources. She has the wealth. She has things that she needs. Everything's pretty much taking care of itself. And, you get to this point, and life is pretty good. Things are pretty good for you. And that's kind of on the financial front. And that's also just on the, material things, health, and it's your health, it's your wealth, it's your spiritual development, it's your, just a kind of a collective of everything. It's sort of like an entire basket of, things that are kind of in front of us, things that we experience in life. Sometimes we're trying to, sometimes, several areas of your life might be going really well, but there may be that 1 or 2 areas that you're trying to focus in on. And then other times it's kind of the inverse of that. You might have 1 or 2 areas that are going good, and the rest of the areas of your life might all be kind of like, what's going on here? Why am I having such a run of bad luck? Or, why am I having these experiences happening in different things? But with this card here, it's not saying that at all. Now, this card, I'm picking up the number 5 with this, which is about change and stability and things as well in numerology, but it's also that 5th month. So we're looking at that. We're in October, November, December, January, February, March. So we're looking at around March for this particular card. This is our futuristic card. We'll get some answers in March, or maybe even before then, but in March, things will be really well. Things will be really have shifted. So all the things with the health and the concerns and all these kind of things will have shifted and become behind us. And it'll be like a better, excuse me, it'll be a better situation that we find ourselves in. Notice that the swords were in the past. It's not really so much the case right now. Now it's just about daily work, doing our daily stuff, just maintaining our situation. The analogy that I can kind of give you with this would be like if we were looking at this as a narrative, as kind of like a story, and we go back to my car example again. In the past, I could say, well, I've heard this noise, and now I still have all these obligations, all these activities, all these services that I do on a day-to-day basis, and I'm just kind of maintaining that at this point until I can get the car into the shop or something, and then get that taken care of and looked at, and see what can happen with that. At least get some clarity and insight. And then say like I do that, and then say like 3 or 4 months from now, I get the solutions, everything's taking care of itself. um, car's running good and everything, and I'm in a better situation. I'm now able to focus more on my services. I'm able to um, figure out what objectives I need to achieve, and those type of things, and move forward. And I'm in a much better situation. It's like things have kind of resolved themselves, and that's what you kind of have here. It's kind of a classic example of how problems sort of tend to resolve themselves most of the time. Let's get a little bit more insight into this card here, this Eight of Pentacles. We said that this was kind of like that double dose of that kind of Capricornian energy, as far as that we're trying to. Capricornian energy is kind of like the slowest energy in the tarot, in terms of a timeline. Pentacles are like, usually months out, maybe even years. Whereas like your wands or like could be in a day or two, and swords would be like a week or two or something, and your cups could be like a month or two, and then you have the pentacles, it could be like I said, a year or two or something, it could be kind of out there. But that kind of energy is like we're doing things so that we can kind of set ourselves up for a better situation more longer term. So when we're looking at these pentacles here that we've seen in the last two cards, it's kind of this longer term kind of results that we start to see. Now let's look at this card and just see what else we have with it. So, okay, well, I mentioned cups, and sure enough, a cup came out, and it's the Ace of Cups. So it's like new relationships, kind of something brand new coming out. The cup overfloweth. Abundance, you get that with this card, abundance. You get a lot of emotion as well, like new feelings, new emotions, and things that kind of like kind of alter or change our situation, or our not just our mindset internally, but it could also be that it changes our relationships with people outside of our everyday norm, or the way that they've been for quite a period of time. So this could be even like work related, or on the job kind of situation, where you find that it's almost like there's people, or like work colleagues or something like that might be going and shifting, like moving off or moving away, and new people might be coming in to play, or a new person could be coming into play. And I see that as being a really positive thing, this Ace of Cups. And as a result of that, there's more tolerance and leniency, and I don't know, I'm just kind of picking up that kind of an energy with it. And it kind of paves the way for allowing our own expertise to continue. So another kind of way of looking at that, I had someone a while back, actually it wasn't that long ago, it was maybe a couple of weeks ago, I did a tarot card reading for a young woman, and where was I at? I don't remember exactly, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I do remember the reading on some level. She was having some issues with, she was a professional in IT. She was a developer, and she was a programmer or something along those lines, but she was really good at what she did. She had a lot of competencies. In other words, she had done it for quite a period of time, that she was pretty expert at what she does. But the environment, the work environment that she worked at, there was some oversight, people management and different managers and different things like that over her in particular. And as a result, they were kind of telling her that, well, they were like a lot of oversight on her. So like, it didn't matter how expert she was, there was always these eyes. They wanted full transparency and all these kind of things. So it kind of stymied her from being able to give it her all, or be able to really take her skill set and be able to use it, to improve the company, or improve her position, and improve the work projects that she had going on. And so she was really stressed out about it. Well, it was kind of like the same kind of situation after, when doing the reading and stuff, it was sort of like, I got the sense that things were also going to be for her, kind of like what it is with, for GR here tonight, that her situation would improve, that somebody else would come into the work situation, and then they were just going to like let her kind of do her own thing. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like with this, I kind of pick up that Whatever has been kind of like, I don't know, impeding you or like kind of blocking you is kind of like an obstacle. That obstacle is going to be more removed and it's not going to really be an issue as much anymore. Okay, so the next card that we'll draw is just, let's look at like kind of where GR is. Like I always call this sort of the attitude card, or kind of the mindset card of where the person is, kind of where their feelings are and different things. So let's look at that. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups also. So it's like new things are coming about. And you notice this person, they're just kind of looking at what's kind of in front of them, and it's just kind of like, meh, that's what it is, like, you know, so what? It's kind of that so what kind of energy. And, four is about stability. And we're seeing that, primordial hand coming in and kind of presenting the cup here to the person as well, like something new or something else. But their mind is so focused over here that they're not seeing that things are changing, things are coming about. And that's kind of where the energy is. So the kind of the mindset. So what I would say to that is just, maybe be a little bit open to things outside of your purview, things outside of what you normally look at. It's so easy to stay focused or fixed in one direction, or the directions that we've been kind of focused, where something could come in and, it's just something that you just never really anticipated or really thought about before. And it can kind of change things, it kind of rocks the boat a little bit. Change can be a little uneasy sometimes for us, but with something along this line, it's going to be a little bit something unexpected, and that's what you get sort of with this kind of Four energy. It's stability. It's going to be a stabilizing kind of factor that comes in, almost like a helping hand in some ways. Someone's going to come and kind of help the situation, give you some better news, give you some answers and different things on that end. And so that's kind of where the thing is. And I guess you probably have a sense of that already. Now, the next two cards that I want to draw is, and I want to kind of talk about this before I draw them. So we'll have the Answer card, which is going to really kind of be like, it's the information that we need to take action on in order to get the outcome that will come next. If we don't want that outcome, then we have to kind of maybe, look at the answer and maybe reject it or something. But by and large, it's kind of a precise pinpoint of where we are to get the outcome that's coming. Based on the information, based on where we're at, based on all the the influences and everything that are here in front of us, astrological influences, our mindset, all these kind of things, they all work together, sort of have that kind of a symbiotic relationship that creates the future, through our likelihood or our propensity or our actions or our mindset. All these kind of things kind of weigh in. So let's look at the Answer card. So it's a Three of Wands. I almost said Three of Energy because the wands are they are energy, the creative energy most of the time and all. And this is, you see three here. Three is usually about the culmination of like not being necessarily by yourself. It's not really like, two is usually maybe about more intimate relationships, where three is sort of like friendships or your inner circle, people near and dear to you. And they're seeing you off on this journey, or they're seeing you, or they're with you, or they've got your back, or they're supporting you from afar, but they're there for you. And even though you may not always see that, they are there, and they're there to help you. They're there to be there for you, to support and encourage you. And that is always a real empowering kind of place to be. So it doesn't matter where we're at in the world. It doesn't matter what our situation is. It doesn't matter what our dilemmas, our challenges, our obstacles. None of that matters as much when we know that we have people in our corner rooting for us, that are there to help us, that are there kind of in the backdrop, always kind of like our guardian angels in a sense. And that's what this card is really telling me to tell you, is that it's to also, like, you can have such a big heart and be a giver, and you can also like do so much for others at the same time. Just realize that other people are there for you as well, and that help can come quickly. Let's look at the outcome card now. This is very interesting. So the Empress. This is a card that I have not had drawn in quite a while for anyone. It's weird because I don't say weird, it's odd to me because the Empress, especially like in the wintertime, this card tends to come up more in readings I have found. And I don't know exactly why that is, but oftentimes the Empress card is usually to do with like pregnancy or so when someone is getting pregnant or it's a very motherly kind of energy, but it's like new mother kind of energy. So it's youthful motherhood, that kind of thing. But it's also not just, but it really does depend on the context. This Empress card can come up oftentimes when other people need our support or other people are there to support us. It's so interesting because if you look at our key or our answer here, we have a 3, right? And if you look at, and this is the major arcana, so this is kind of your overarching life theme kind of card. We have the Empress, and she is also a 3. So she is the 3 in the major arcana, the first 3 actually. And her energy is basically about like new birth, new hope, nurturing. These are the kind of things that you get with the Empress. She's a very nurturing kind of energy. I'll tell you, this is probably going to sound a little strange, but I heard one time, and I don't know how true this is. Cats. Yeah, a little off topic. I told you it was going to be a little bit stranger. Sorry that the camera here is rocking a little bit. But cats tend to purr, and some cats more so than others. You can hear kitty cats purr. Someone was telling me, I was watching this maybe on a YouTube video or something one time someone had sent me, and it was talking about like how cats, when they purr, it's a way of like healing themselves. And that purring and stuff like that is like if they're sick or if they've like coughed up a fur ball or if they're just feeling a little depressed or something, that purring and stuff is very nurturing and very comforting to them. And again, I'm not like an expert, in felines or anything like that, but this is just something that I heard. And I also heard that, like just a purring alone, the sound of purring can really comfort a person. It's almost like chanting or something, like in, in our tradition, we have certain chants and different things that, that we do, prayers and things, but that chanting can be very therapeutic. It can also be very healing. If someone's chanting Om, like in yoga and that type of thing, in that kind of a case, it's very therapeutic. It's very healing. And, it's positive. It's very positive. And the same thing with like a cat purring. It's sort of the same kind of energy. That, a mother cat taking care of her young kittens, purring and stuff like that, as they're getting milk and everything is happening so nicely for them. It's a very kind of healing kind of energy. It's very therapeutic. And that's what you get with this particular card here, this Empress card. So oftentimes when I see this card, I'm reminded of that, kind of that, a cat purring and stuff like that to kind of heal itself or to kind of like be there for itself, but also know that other people are there rooting for them, comforting them and being there for them as well. So, if your pet cat isn't feeling too good and you start to pet it and then the cat starts to purr and, maybe it's making the biscuits, the kitty cat biscuits, then it's trying to heal. It's kind of like healing itself, making itself feel better. We all have these things that we do, right? If you're not feeling well, maybe when you were a child, your mother gave you some kind of a remedy, right? Gave you some kind of instruction, um, and it made you feel better. It's sort of like a way of like, if a child is sick, do you give them a sweet or something like that? Maybe it's not the best idea, but maybe it makes them feel a little bit better. It's like just that little, you console them, you give them a little bit more attention, and it has a tendency to do a lot of positive good in that person's life. And that's what this Empress is really all about. So the outcome is a very healing outcome. So when we're talking about all the things that have happened, or maybe the lack of information that we've gotten with regard to this medical kind of situation, it looks from the reading here that a couple of things to say about it. And I think maybe I've kind of hinted at this already, but sometimes we have to take care of ourselves, but we also have to, let other people take care of us also. So, especially if we're a very independent type of person, or maybe we've endured great loss. And so we've had people in our life kind of disappear. And so we've kind of gotten away from being too reliant on others, right? It's okay sometimes to just, call that friend or that family member or that special person that really wants to be there for you, and to let them be there. It's healing. It's a way of healing yourself. And the Empress is really, I think that's really what the message is here as far as the outcome goes, is that in a lot of ways, it's going to be like a double dose of medicine here. It's the medicine that you give yourself. And I'm talking like rest and renewal, rest and retreat, this kind of energy, doing things that really matter to you, whether it's, some people like to do crossword puzzles, for example, and they just like to take a day or a couple days or kind of a holiday or vacation and kick back, do some crossword puzzles. Or some people like to draw and they might do some artwork. It's a way of like saying, I've got to get back to some of the soul things, the things that really I connect with, kind of on that soul level, things that resonate with me, and my personality and just my overall inclinations and the way that I like to do things, and kind of connecting with that and allowing your body to heal, allowing your soul to heal, allowing your mind to heal, and let it be very holistic. And I think that what you'll find is that it works. It really does. And then also just allowing the other people there to be there for you, connecting with people, talking to them about the situation, not holding everything inside, but letting it out, and just knowing that there's people there in your corner, some hope and some love and attention and connection is a really good word for it. And I do really pick that up. So the answer is to let people in, but also to let yourself kind of mend, let yourself become kind of whole again. And when you do, you'll find that everything just kind of starts to work out, and that your results start to come in, and all your problems tend to go away, on a lot of levels. Maybe not every level, but at least the areas that you were most concerned with, and then you can kind of go about life and kind of make things a little bit easier. And that's what I would say. So I'm not picking up anything really negative, as far as or surprisingly negative or anything. But I just think that the cards really had a good message for you, saying that, take care of yourself, oftentimes we don't have time to nourish ourselves, or we don't have time to even, group together with other people that can be very healing, nurturing kind of people that can kind of take us outside of the negative or take us outside of the everyday and give us a better, more hopeful experience, and that's, I think, what's really needed here. So everything looks pretty good. You've got this new energy kind of stuff happening. And, you get a lot more things will come March and stuff like that. All of this stuff is sort of behind you. That's what I'm picking up. So I think everything is going to be pretty good. So I hope that helps. I was wondering also, like, now that we've done that for GR. I was just wondering if there's anything else I'm neglecting to mention or anything. I haven't done a tarot card reading in a minute. I was hoping to do more online to kind of keep the channel kind of more regulated, or at least having content put up at more regular intervals. Someone was suggesting to me that does like social media and different things, and they're into all of this kind of stuff. So maybe have like a content calendar where you put things up, but it doesn't really work that well for this kind of a channel because it's just what's the word I'm looking for? It's because it's not guaranteed that there'll be a tarot card reading to do tomorrow or something. So if I said, well, we'll do a video tomorrow, or every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it would be more consistent. But then the problem would be is, what if I don't have anybody to read for? And then I'm not just going to make this stuff up. So it's hit or miss. Sometimes I get inundated with many tarot card readings, and then other times a little dry patch. Like things get a little bit dried out. Well, I'm going to do one other thing here. Just like I think it would be a little bit fun. I got a new deck of cards. These are kind of cool. I don't know if you can see, there's like some of the like the zodiac and stuff on it. Kind of neat. But what's nice about these cards is they're kind of more helping cards, and they have like yes, no, and all this kind of stuff on them and everything. And so I thought, well, maybe what I would do is just do kind of like a yes or no kind of question, like a 3 card, and just kind of get an idea of like, what the situation is, like a yes or no confirmation on some things, for GR, as far as the health goes. Like, is this thing going to improve? Is it serious? What would be the best way of phrasing that? And that's what I'm trying to kind of think of as I shuffle the spots off of these cards. Maybe I'll just ask if the reading that we just did, is it pretty much the answer here? Is this pretty much what we need to focus on? Or maybe a better way of putting it might even be, is this health concern? Are we looking at, is it malignant? Let's maybe do that. Is it malignant? Is it something very concerning that we need to really be concerned with? I don't want to get too far out in the weeds here, so maybe that's the best way to do things. Well, I've been shuffling these and kind of get my energy focused in on them, but we'll go ahead and do some regular shuffle here. And then we'll just do like a 3 card yes or no and see what we can come up with. So the first card is the recognition card, and it's a yes. Wow, these cards are really interesting. Just a second, guys. I got these mixed up. Okay, I guess these weren't shuffled too good, so I'm gonna redo this. I don't want to. That's the thing when you get new decks of cards, is that you kind of have to. You got to put a lot of energy into them right off the immediately. Get them really well shuffled and everything. And what's nice about these cards is that they're cards that I can shuffle pretty easily. They're small enough. Some tarot cards, they're quite large, and so for some people's hands, I have mediums. I guess maybe larger than medium-sized hands, maybe on the scale of larger. But it's not like I'm able to palm a basketball or anything like that. But big enough that I can really grasp even the big cards fairly easily. But these smaller cards are even easier for me. So I just want to do a nice shuffle on these. Let's just start again here. And I'm just going to really focus now on the question itself. And the question is this news something that Is it bad news? Like, is this health concern? Is it bad? In other words, is it something that maybe we need to get this thing, we need to really focus in on it, or that type of thing. And, just get some kind of a truthful kind of situation with it. We'll look at that in the context of yes or no, but we'll also look at it in the context of the cards that get drawn. So this is this card is a yes. And it's a Seven of Wands. I've pulled this several times, but this is standing up for what you believe in, kind of like fighting for what you believe. It's very defensive, assertive kind of energy that this card presents. The Bija mantra for this is Ram, sort of the mantra that goes with it. But it's really about standing your ground, and but it is a yes. So it's like concerning would be yes. The next card that we have is the community card. Okay, so this is a good card. And it's in the reverse position, so it's a no. But this is about happy families, reunions, homecoming, celebration. So it kind of coincides with what we were talking about a little bit. It's about, feeling welcome around others, letting other people in, and that type of thing. So we'll just pull from the deck again, see what we can come up with. Again, another one upside down. So this is the Queen of Swords, and this the mantra for this is Om itself. And this is honest, truthful, frank, protective, independent, talkative, good communication. So it's all really positive. So again, it's more positive news. And it's also no as far as the things go. So it's nothing to really worry about. So that's the 2 out of 3. And everything is pretty good on that end. The cards themselves are very good cards as well. So like I mentioned, so nothing to worry about. So they talk about community. It also talks about standing your ground. And it's about inner protectiveness, the other card, the last one that we drew, the Om. So the Bija mantras for these are Ram, and then it's Hum, and then it's Om. So those are just good cards for like good mantras for, Bija is just a seed mantra. It's just it's good for just kind of letting your energy go, like not, letting go of stress, letting go of negative thinking, these kind of things. It's really kind of more on the positive side of things. So yeah, it's not bad. Trying to think, I wanted to maybe do like another yes or no. I think they're kind of fun to do, and they bring more clarity and insight to things. So we're moving into kind of this new energy as we get closer and closer toward like November and December. We're going to start moving into this 8-year. So we saw just a little bit ago in this reading that we had the double dose of 8s, right? We had the 8 Pentacles. So we had the double dose of Capricorn energy. So what I was wondering, like when that came up, especially since we're going to be moving into this new season, kind of basically in numerology, new year, what that really had. So what about finances, and what about just overall, fortune and luck and everything like that? That all tends to go with this kind of 8 energy. Let's see where that is. Like, I'm just curious. I'm going to shuffle these again. If I had a jumper card, this happened. That doesn't happen too often, especially with these smaller cards. But see where it is. So the first card is yes, it looks like, and it's a very positive card. It's it's kind of a wish card. Bija mantra is but it's all about fulfillment. So this particular card, when you have the 10, it's the guy with the cups all around him and stuff like that. It's all about fulfillment. And that was the jumper card. So we'll just keep it there. So it's all about fulfillment. So yeah, this is the year of fulfillment. This is where things start to really happen. You're going to see a lot more positive things start to come about. And yeah, I just see really positive things for you. Let's see here. What else? So not a lot of challenges, actually. The only challenge is us being our own worst enemy, kind of with this reading and that. Doing this kirtan beat, and it's just making me think that maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to listen to some kirtan, like listen to some mantras or something. Let's see. It's like bhajans or like kirtan. It's like musical mantras. So it's like very healing kind of energy. You can listen to it very passively. You don't have to even sing along if you don't want to. But you can get on YouTube. You could look at some mantras that are sung, some sung prayers. There's famous ones that a lot of people listen to. I always recommend, of course, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. There's some really good tunes that people have for those. If and then you can sing along and get the mantra effect and everything like that. It's really powerful. There's the Vishnu Sahasranam. There's also maybe a good prescription. I don't know if you're into chanting or not, or if it's something you can focus on, but even if you listen to it, it would be very positive. There is one called the Lalita Sahasranam, and it's 1,000 names of Lalitambik. And it is said that helps with like health and so many different benefits of chanting this Lalita Sahasranam. So it might be something that, if you have a little bit of time or if you can make the time for it, it might be something that would be positive, and maybe that could be something that you could do as kind of like a discipline, or, even if you just do it one time, and you just like kind of like let that energy kind of absorb you. I think it might be like beneficial just in terms of that. Otherwise, just chanting, if you have like a particular mantra that you like to chant, you could chant that. Or if you just feel like maybe doing a little yoga, you could do a little bit of yoga, some hatha yoga, or, just something else outside of that, something more like meditation or something. You could do a meditation. There's several of those out there. But I think maybe just my thought, like, I was doing the kirtan beat, I was thinking that maybe just listen to some kirtan music or something like that, maybe for an hour or 30 minutes or something like that, just relaxing a little bit and just like letting that happen would be beneficial. Maybe light a little incense if you can stand the incense, or maybe light a candle if that's better, or both. And then just having some peace and quiet and some, just really nurture yourself and let that happen. I pick up that will be really good for you. Okay. All right, guys. So I guess this pretty much concludes this this stream. I don't know if I have any more readings to do tonight or not. Somebody did reach out to me a while back, and I was supposed to do one, and I don't think I did. So I had to kind of go and find that. I wish I could show you guys some of the different ones I've done recently. I've done a lot of in-person tarot card readings, and But for privacy's sake, I can't really record those and put them on the channel. But they've been some really interesting ones, ones that new ones that I've never even done before, like new kind of questions, new things, that situations people find themselves in. But maybe we'll have some of that come onto the channel at some point here. Oh, I guess I should tell you guys. So I am not roped in. I don't like to say I got roped into something, because that happens to me. It's, if you're willing, I guess is a good way of putting it. If you're willing to kind of go with the flow sometimes and help people out when they need it, and just kind of be there for people, then I guess you're kind of you're not the what's the word for it? You only have yourself to blame, I guess is the way I should put it. It's not like you're a victim. I'm not a victim. So it's my choice to love and to serve. And I don't do it for any other reason besides it's just in my heart to do it. But if that's the case, then I will tell you guys, I sort of got roped into this yoga thing. So shall I tell you guys kind of like the backstory of this? I don't know. Maybe there's some of you might find it comical or a little bit interesting, but so, all right, I'll tell you, I'll spill the beans here. I won't leave you guessing here. But it just goes to show how old Chandra here gets himself sometimes involved in things. Just it happens. So here it goes. So a while back, I got the opportunity, I was thinking about maybe doing some yoga. And there's a devotee in our community that is a yoga instructor. But that person was really busy, and, they teach. They teach not too far from our community center twice a week. And those times just didn't work for me because I have other services I do during that particular time. So I ended up purchasing a yoga teacher training program, but I didn't do it for myself per se. I actually did it to help someone else become certified or trained. They didn't have the funds or anything for it. I got a blessing, and as a result, I took that blessing to help them out. And in my mind, I thought, okay, well, I'll help them become a yoga teacher. They can go to the school, they can put in all the hours and the energy and focus and do that. And old Chandra here, after they get done with it, maybe they can teach me yoga or something, So that was kind of my reasoning, So I didn't do it. And I'll be honest, I did not do it with the anticipation that they would owe me yoga lessons for like the rest of my life or something like that. It wasn't like that at all. Whether I ever got a yoga lesson or not, I just did it to help them out. Pure and innocent, I promise. But it kind of backfired on me. Sometimes acts of charity can even backfire on us, right? It happens to all of us, not just, people, doing monk life or, spiritual all the time or anything like that. It can happen anyway. So what happened is I presented this to this person, and I said, hey, I got this for you. I hope you enjoy it. And so they looked it over, they checked it out. I think they attended one class or something like that. And then they came back to me and said, hey, look, I really do appreciate you doing this, but I didn't ask for it. And honestly, it's really boring to me, and I'm not going to do it. So they had lost interest right away. So no refunds or anything, so someone has to take the course. So I thought, okay, well, what to do? So I asked around if anyone else in the community might be interested in pursuing this course and everything. Nobody was interested. Everyone was really busy. And it brought me right back to my youth, my brother in India, Aditya, one time he took a yoga program and he didn't want to finish it, but once you kind of get locked into it, you're obligated, And so as a result of that, he ended up kind of pushing me into the slot. Well, I kind of did that to myself this time, So now I'm going to be taking this course, this program, to become like a yoga teacher and learn all about the different asanas and how they work and everything, and kind of do that. And I'm not the youngest person in the world anymore. It's not like something that I really was planning on doing, but it's just something that sort of happened as a result of my inability to kind of sell people on doing this course so that I wouldn't have to do it. And I'm not saying that I don't want to do it. It's just that I have so much I do already that it's just something else to do and to get involved in. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, maybe I can update you guys on some, at some point on this, and kind of let you guys know like what the situation is with it. Maybe I'll do that in a future. Maybe we'll have some more of these videos and different things. And if that's the case, we'll see it. But if you guys are there in my corner, kind of rooting me on, I appreciate it. Wish me luck with it, because I've got to go on like this yogi diet and start to kind of shift things for myself as well. And you see changes happening and different things like that. So it's kind of like my traditional schedule is sort of being uprooted a little bit. So we'll just kind of see, how things go and what have you. So, but anyways, much love and many blessings. I hope everyone's doing really well. If you want to connect with me at all, you can do that through indirectknowledge.com. In the description below this video, if you want to support the channel and the efforts and things that we do here, you're welcome to do that. Just go to helpbydonating.com. There's also Radha's Menu if you want to help out with, like, we have a food project and stuff. It's something that I'm very heavily involved in as a service project. We cook food for people in the community and stuff for free. We don't charge anything for it. And it's, unless people want to donate or something along those lines. But by and large, it's more just, as a service, it's love for the community and for others. So we do that. And then, and that's radhasmenu.com. That's in the description below this video. If you want to donate food or something along those lines, you're very welcome to do that. And then for those of you that have watched the tarot readings and stuff for quite some time, if you've ever thought, that's something that I would really enjoy doing, as tarot readings, or I've always kind of felt like drawn to it, if that's the case, I highly recommend you take the course. This was something that was inspired by some students and different things in the past that had really encouraged me in the direction of creating a course so I could teach people how to do tarot and things. And so we put that together. They helped me with it. And by and large, it's a pretty thriving kind of community, thriving kind of course. And you'll learn a great deal about tarot and how to read the cards, but a lot more involved in it than just that. And the course itself is only $29. And I didn't even set the price for it. A student, actually, I just kind of put it out there. I said, whatever you guys think I should charge for the course, that you think that's a fair price for people, just put it out there, and that's what we'll charge. And it was decided that $29 was that donation amount. So if you want to do that, and if you don't have $29 and, if you still want to take the course or something like that, just email me and tell me about your situation and all, and, we'll take care of you. No worries. But anyways, much love and many blessings. I hope the rest of the week goes well for all of you guys. You guys are always in my thoughts, always in my prayers, and much love and many blessings. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon.